We are at Trapper's Homestead. Mystery Lake has been looted, and our next stop is a mountain town named Milton. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So it is the end of the day. I am traveling pretty light, and I honestly kind of want to just keep going. So we're going to do that. I want to quickly take a look around, make sure there's nothing I can grab while I'm here. I didn't bring any food with me from our massive moose meat pile, and there's a reason for that. Main reason being, I don't need to. I really don't. We have a cave, first of all, that is going to protect us from the elements, and that's nice. But on top of that, there's going to be plenty of cattails on the way to Milton. So it's one of the trips from zone to zone, even though it's a newer, like an older zone to a newer zone. It's one of the trips that is more easily managed than most. So we're just going to go straight there while we still have some energy, while we still have some daylight. My thirst is quenched. Even the hunger meter's looking pretty good. Condition is almost completely full. Clothes are freshly repaired. Unless I fall off a cliff by accident and manage not to die and rip a lot of clothing in the process. Then clothing won't be okay, but for now, we're good. We are a little bit encumbered, but that's kind of by design. Now, we are going to have to light a torch here. Unfortunately. So we'll try and get through quickly. And I think by the time we finish making the trip, it'll be getting pretty dark, but we'll have shelter. And the opportunity to light another fire. Alright, so let's keep going here just a bit. Really nothing to pick up. Okay. I was expecting a bit of coal, but I suppose not. There's some. Okay, so obviously I can't pick up too much. But I want to try to have some coal on me. I really can't pick up anything at all because of the climbs that we have to do. So we'll have to do some inventory management at the top of those climbs. But we already did a good amount of that when we left the camp office. I unfortunately don't have more lantern oil, but one of the reasons I've been hyping up our trip to Milton for several episodes now is that this is the last loot-dense location in the original map. There's still plenty of loot-dense areas in the Far Territory, which we're going to go to after Milton. And there are still, of course, main zones to search, aside from Milton, in Great Bear, that aren't part of the Far Territory. Alright, there's some more coal there. I'm not going to worry about that. So we got the one training manual, but that's literally it. One of the reasons I want to try to keep moving right now. Look at that one piece of coal. One of the reasons I want to try to keep moving right now is that this one torch is going to get me through this cave. It's also going to maybe help to keep me warm on the other side of this. Not that I really need it. But I'd prefer not to have to... Okay, yeah, we're good. We are good. Matter of fact, I can go ahead and put this out. And probably drop it. Torches are one of the things we will almost certainly have to drop, because we have to lose 10 pounds worth of stuff. That's no fun. So the first stuff we will kind of prioritize are the things that we can do without. The things that we can create again. Water, sticks, things that, you know, can be replenished. Pretty straightforward thinking there, of course, but that's what we're going to do. We haven't really gotten to the part of the run yet where things get complicated. We tend to stick to the more familiar zones at the start. Now, obviously, playing the Long Dark as a new player, you wouldn't necessarily know even where to go in the established zones. You wouldn't know how to get to the other established zones from the first established zone that you were in. So it's an interesting path that Against All Odds tends to follow, because we have this somewhat cushy start, right? It's even possible, based on how this climb goes, that I may have to use a stim. I'm going to try not to. Actually, no, probably not. As long as I can move pretty quickly, I think we're in good shape. Right over there. Right there. That's where we're going. And once we're there, we're home free. It's just that to get there, we need to go down a rope, through a valley where there are wolves, and back up a rope. But yeah, if you're new to the Long Dark, then you don't necessarily know all these paths, and it can be just as stressful in the early stages, which, as I've said since time immemorial, it's one of the things that really makes being new to the Long Dark so exciting. I'm so freaking ready for the graphical updates that they announced. They look really good. If you haven't watched Hannerlin's video yet on those graphical updates, I strongly recommend that you do so. You will not regret it. Okay, so let's sort by weight, and we're going to eat the heaviest things first. Let's first of all make sure we're actually sorted by weight. There we go. Probably, yeah, we're going to get through most of these cattails. We're going to get through all of them. Which is perfect. There will still be more in Milton. Alright, the water we are just going to have to drop. As much as I hate it. We will find more in Milton. The Bannocks I will try to hold on to, but... Okay, so the cattail heads we're going to have to drop. That's a pound right there. I'm actually in pretty good shape. This is going to be easier than I thought. Alright, so... Oh, I could have left these arrow shafts in Milton. That was unnecessary. But I don't want to drop them now. Alright, so we're going to drop the torches. Okay, I could prepare... It kind of makes sense to drop the cloth. I think that's the most sensible thing. It won't quite do it. But the thing is, we're going to be in Milton. There's going to be so much cloth. Let's just drop that. And then we just have to get rid of like 0.6 pounds. Really 0.5. 0.55, yeah. Okay. So... 1 piece of coal. Drop. Perfect. It's not too bad. Alright. I don't hear any howling. But remember, this is my first series with the wildlife refresh. As if I haven't reminded you of it constantly. I don't know where the animals are, so there could be a wolf right at the bottom of this rope. Who knows? Alright, as much as I want to take a look around, we are clearly on borrowed time. The sun is setting. It's a beautiful sunset, but the sun is setting. I'm going to skim the outer edge of this zone on the off chance that there is a wolf that I'm just not hearing or seeing. So far, I literally do not see one, which is interesting. There's always been at least one wolf down here. But it's possible that it just has a very wide patrol route. And I'm just not seeing it at the moment. I wish I had more time to kill here, but I usually don't when I'm coming to Milton. This is usually not a point where we really stop to introspect or explore. It's just straight shot. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Let's hop down here. Mind where we go. Mind a wolf potentially off to the right. Less likely to the left, but still possible. I've got a rifle though, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't see one. Maybe there's one up at the top of the cliff now. Maybe that's what I need to be careful about. Stars starting to come out. You know, come to think of it, that might be one of the things about BLACKFROST, which is the sequel to The Long Dark that's coming to early access in 2026. That might be one of the things about BLACKFROST that I'm most excited about, is new graphics for the frickin' night sky. Because, let's face it, the night sky in The Long Dark has been... Like, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, especially the moon, especially during an aurora. Those are absolutely beautiful. But the stars? Eh. As an astronomy nut, I really find myself wishing a lot that the stars would look better than they do. They oftentimes get stretched by the skybox, it's really splotchy, and just generally not very nice to look at.
Feels like night is coming.
I do hear some wolves howling now, unsurprisingly. But yeah, that's one thing about BLACKFROST that I think we can expect to look a lot better out of the gate, unless they make certain artistic decisions. Did I hear a bear just now? No, that's a moose. Another moose? Are you kidding me? We're not going to drop the moose right now. We're not. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. Calm down. Calm down. Listen, we don't need another moose. But the fact that there's another moose is absolutely insane. It would feed us for literal days. I'm kind of tempted to drop it, I'm not going to lie. Because it's not far from where we could... It would be so much work, though, and we already... Yeah, see, listen. I'm recording for YouTube, okay? I'm recording for YouTube. And I need to bear in mind that we just spent a considerable amount of time on one moose, which kept us in Mystery Lake longer than intended. It's hilarious that we're greeted at the top of Milton by another, but let's just leave it at that, okay? Let's just leave it at that. New granola bar, very nice. So we've already got some food coming into the new zone. We're just going to leave it at that. It's not going to be anything more than that. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. That moose can just be a punchline, and I'm fine with it. Alright, so... we have this bed here if we really wanted to sleep here, but we really don't. That's the thing. We really don't. I would prefer to get back to the town proper before we leave. Is there anything else here? Nothing? Except for this poster, which is misplaced. Desolation Point. You know what? It's 0.5 pounds. I'll put it up somewhere in town. Alright, so that moose is literally right there. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn that off. That was unexpected. Alright, so there is a wolf down near the bottom of the slope. I'm kind of not surprised, because that's the direction that the howls were coming from. And it's about the distance as well. Oh, there's two wolves. Okay. Before us, there are two wolves. Yet again. Alright, I'm going to take the risk of potentially finding a third. Okay, I'm starting to hear aurorified howls, which is suboptimal. Thankfully, I have full health at the moment, but if I were to get into a scuffle with a wolf right now, it wouldn't be pretty. Because I don't have a lot of energy, I wouldn't be able to fight, and the wolf would hurt me. Potentially even kill me. So I want to try to be mindful of that. And as a matter of fact, one thing I'm angling to do right now is not just run to the back door of this shop, but potentially run around to the car out front if I aggro a wolf while approaching. Okay. Let's pry this place open. It's going to be pretty dark when we get in here.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
But we made it. Okay, so I, of course, got rid of a torch. Hang on, let me briefly turn this thing on just to see if I can spot for any lantern fuel on the shelves. Beef jerky. Accelerant. Anything? Man, there's lots of food. This is great. But lantern fuel-wise, nothing really going. Grab the dog food. Yeah. Nothing. Anything back here? Nope. Plenty of loot there, though. I'm sure you saw it. There's plenty. So let's go ahead and put this away, because there's no sense burning it. And we can start searching these lockers in the dark. We'll have to just make it through the night here, now that we've arrived. As I said, food never really a concern on the trip to Milton. Not only because of the cattails on the way, but now that we're here, notice how much food we've already found. There's food that we didn't pick up just now, because I was mainly looking for lantern fuel, which we will find, to be clear. We'll find it. Just not yet. Replacement fuse. Wait, what was that? Oh, fire barrel. Got it. Got it. Alright, there's stump remover. I'm going to leave that there for now. Might take it with me when I leave, but okay. So for now, the only sensible thing to do, I don't have a lot to drink, so I'll need to be mindful of that. Actually, I have very little to drink right now, so what I'll do is consume these pinnacle peaches, because they have water and peaches. Also, a good amount of vitamin C. I was just telling a community member during stream on Sunday that one thing I haven't run into, I think it was I'll Be the One, who is a Long Dark community veteran, coming in to report his, what was it, 600 plus Stalker Day run during stream. So, congrats again on that, by the way. We were just talking about how I haven't gotten to a point where I've had to manage scurvy as a condition, because it's something that sets in the long game, and it's meant to provide challenge so that the ultra long game in the Long Dark is less repetitive and less predictable for new players, or for old players, excuse me, which is really cool. All right, so I'm really tired. I can sleep through most of the night right now, but the thing is, the Aurora, I don't... Field dressing your kill. These always take 10 hours to read. Small Arms Handbook. I'm going to say 5 hours, and here's the thing. We're not going to get 5, because we're going to get tired. Here we go. So we got 2. And now we're really thirsty. I can finish this dog food, which will replenish some of the thirst. We still have some left. Yeah, we're going to lose some condition to thirst here. I hate to do it, but at the same time, I need to recover my energy, and we will find water in the town. We'll even find water in the toilet right next door. I could have done that just now, truth be told, and not lost the condition, but we'll get it back. Yeah, you see there's water right here. We're fine. And now that we have lights, we can actually look for other things, like lantern fuel. So we're going to be here in Milton for a bit. There's some revolver ammo. But after we're done here, it's back into the Forlorn Muskeg, maybe a quick jaunt back into Mystery Lake just to grab any supplies that might be useful to have with us. And then straight back across the Muskeg into the Far Territory. And I'm really excited about that because yes, we have been to all of those zones now. That's one of the purposes of the Season 0 runs that we did in the Long Dark. That's against all odds Season 0, Season 01, and 02. They were kind of a stalker-adjacent version of this same difficulty code. Just making sure I haven't left anything obvious on the ground. Yes, there's spray paint. Yes, I'm ignoring it. Nothing there. What all can be moved in here? A lot. Oh, nice. There's a Summit soda. So we not only have the water, there's some beef jerky, some salted crackers, some oats. We not only have the water, but we've got that Summit soda for the caloric value. Nothing there. What if I were to break you down? Would you have anything? Nope, just tinder plugs. I wanted to check, but it's just tinder plugs. All right, there's that spray paint. Let's go behind the counter and see if we find anything here. And then we can... Oh, nice. Another bedroll. Which I will take, because it actually looks like it's in good condition. And we could break down one of the bedrolls for cloth. Once we get to Greymother's place, which will be the next stop. Yep, didn't search the cooler. Anything else that I overlooked? Any other nooks and crannies? Or just nooks. Or just crannies. Doesn't have to be nooks and crannies. Because I've clearly searched mostly everything. Okay, we're fine. Yep, check those. I guess I can grab those wires. Do I need the stump remover? I'll take it with me. We're not going far. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. I guess one more thing we'll check is microwave. Nothing there. Oh, hold on. Fast film, salty crackers. See? Worth the double check. And out we go.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Not sure where the wolves are, but they're not far. Let's check this trunk. And we will make our way into town. Nothing in the back seat. I hear ptarmigan. Tarm and ptarmigan. I hear them. How many times has that joke already been made? Because that's a really easy low bar. I don't think I've made it before, but I don't know that I've heard anyone else make it before. But I am under no illusion that I'm the first to come up with that joke. Because that is some low-hanging fruit. Alright, so there is a wolf somewhere over there. Thankfully no longer aurorified. Let's keep going this way. And I think I may as well start searching some of the houses on my way in. As much as I want to get straight to Greymother's and start sorting inventory, we'll find some other things that might weigh me down a bit. But I'd rather find those things now on the way in. Okay. I do not see any wolves immediately in front of me, although I think I see one. Oh no, that's a bunny. That's a bunny. Okay, so first house is literally the first one on the right. Let's check it out. Hello, Mountain Town.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
You'll be fine. Alright, cedar firewood. Not going to worry about that book. We've already got the extra bedroll. Some salt. Potato. Okay. Kitchen cabinets. I might go ahead and break down that bedroll right now for the extra cloth. We'll search this house first. Because I'm fairly certain the 10 cloth will be lighter than the 2-pound bedroll that I picked up. Reasonably certain. Oh, search the oven. Alright, so we can repair this. It'll take 2 minutes. We can do this without the tools. Look at that. It's empty, of course. Oh, that requires woodworking tools because it's fully off the hinge. That is interesting. Okay. That's another reason, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it in a while. It's one of the newest aspects of this playthrough.
This stuff will come in handy.
It's very new to me. I haven't gotten the woodworking tools ever in the Long Dark, because I haven't played it outside of this series since the update dropped. And we're in a zone where I feel like we're somewhat more likely than average to find the woodworking tools, especially given that we haven't found them anywhere else in the world so far. So, fingers crossed. Alright, there's a windbreaker.
Nobody needs this anymore.
We are mainly going to be breaking that down. Alright, it's noon. Let's get some water. This is this is what's going to slow me down the most. Some wool socks, which I can use to replace existing socks. So that's a bit of an upgrade. Okay. So we have 2 bedrolls, one at 68% condition, one at 73. This will take an hour and 30 minutes. I can do that. And then, of course, we have a windbreaker, which will take 20 minutes for 2 more cloth. And we've got our cloth back. And then some. We can also rip up the new sport vest. And some socks, as I recall. It would be nice if we could find some better socks. But for now, we're stuck with wool. Are the climbing socks... I'm actually, at this moment in time, I don't recall off the top of my head if the climbing socks appear in Interloper. Or if wool is as much as we can do, because we are using the Interloper level loot tables here. Right, so we've got some sticks, we've got some coal, we've got some firewood. Nothing I really need to repair at the moment. We're in really good shape, clothing-wise. Nice. Let's go ahead and drink that water. Over 100 pounds of encumbrance from all the extra stuff we've picked up. As we make our way towards Greymother's. Anything else? Okay, no, we're good. Next.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
That is actually true. For once, I will not get on your case for complaining. It's getting heavier and heavier, and we need to make our way to Greymother, so we're going to follow this back route. Nothing scary has ever happened back here in the history of the channel. Believe no story to the contrary. Okay. As tempted as I am to keep searching, I'm going to push forward because the reality is that even just one more house is going to weigh me down so much. Plus, the weather is good at the moment. So we're kind of being given an opportunity to straight shot it to Greymothers and then backtrack as we begin to scavenge Milton. So that's what we're going to do. Interesting. Okay, no wolves at the crossroads. So far, a very, very tranquil, aside from the wolves that we had to dodge on the way into the shop, a very tranquil entrance into Mystery Lake. There's a wolf, just to give us an ominous feeling in the background. Fair enough. Well played. And here we are.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
First things first, let's step into the kitchen. Check the fridge and the freezer. Not that either of them are running, but let's sort by weight and start putting some things up. We can put the oats up, we can put the salt up, the potatoes. We'll keep some of the lower condition food on me. And then we can also go ahead and drop some of these other supplies in the area, because we're going to be here for a minute. I'm going to grab that cotton toque, grab that salt, grab that potato. Oh, wow. Carrot, another cooking pot. As I said, we will find plenty. That's one of the reasons I will always panic about my bedroll, but I don't tend to panic too much unless we're in a more remote location about the cooking pot. I just don't. Especially early in the game, because if you lose one, you'll find another. Even if you've already found them and you just left them in places, which if you're strategic, you can do that. Almost done here. But yeah, even if you've already found them all, you can just leave them in various places. Oh, nice. Sardines and maple syrup.
Barely walk with this much gear.
We had a couple of containers of maple syrup that are still sitting in Mystery Lake as a bit of a supply cache. Okay. Nothing else really here. Nothing else on the counter. Nothing else hiding out behind the sink. I still would love to find some lantern oil. Let's keep searching for a bit. Got lots of books laying around, which is pretty standard fare. We're going to drop the cedar firewood here. We'll step a little bit farther back and drop all the coal. Lighten our load a bit. And then we can open this cabinet. Nothing in it. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Tinder plugs we'll keep. I'll put 2 of them away. Put the newspaper away too. Don't need it. Okay. Picked up some other food items that I will need to put away momentarily in the fridge, but we're going to put these wires and replacement fuses away temporarily. We're also going to put this... Well, maybe we can put the sign up somewhere in Greymother's just for fun. All right, let's drop the stump remover. I still need to process some of this stuff. Or prepare it, I should say. Put the scrap metal away. Okay, yeah. We're going to drop our foodstuffs in the kitchen. Mainly that. But also the maple syrup, the salt, the other potato. And keep the rest of that, that's fine. We're not actually that encumbered at this point. No real, yeah, let's clear the junk. Unfortunately, no... Oh, you know what else we can pick up? Hold on. No lantern fuel to speak of. Yet. We might find some upstairs, but I was really kind of hoping we'd find some like sitting on the mantle or even in the kitchen. So lantern fuel has been a little bit more elusive so far in these loot tables. Wool socks. I'm pretty sure climbing socks are available in these loot tables. I don't know why I'm misremembering that right now. Probably because I'm doing a million things and I'm about to move. That's probably it. That's probably it. Move in real life, not move in the game. Always moving in the long dark. I am one of the more nomadic players that you can watch play this game. I tend to hunker down less. That's a second distress pistol, don't need it. And I'm pretty sure distress pistols do not change condition. Yeah, so I literally don't need that. Neither of them is loaded, so I can drop either one. Already got that water. Let's keep going. Got a cardboard box there. Lily's pancakes recipe. Read text. Classic pancakes with peaches. Perfect for a day of climbing. Hell yeah. Alright, we're going to break down this cloth, because there can be things behind it. Like this crate that is literally poking through the box here. Hang on, let's just move you. Put you right down there. Alright, sewing kit. You see what I did there? I subconsciously used... I subconsciously did the thing that I keep saying I'm not going to do. Thermal underwear. I already got some thermal underwear. But still, it's good to have. We can use it for the extra cloth. Oh. Are those jeans? Yep. Okay. I was hoping they were better than jeans. So far we haven't found anything better than jeans. More film. Haven't found the camera yet, although this is... Speaking of things that I'm kind of expecting to find in this area of the world, camera's pretty high on that list. That and the woodworking tools. Alright, so we've already been in there, already been in there. Already been in here. Broke down the cardboard box. Let's do that real quick, just to see what might be underneath it. Nothing. Okay. So with that, I've already searched everything in here. Yeah? Yep. Okay. Couldn't remember if I'd opened that cabinet. We're going to step down here. I think I have a few more food items to drop. Maybe. Not really. Yeah, we're still almost 20 pounds encumbered because of the extra stuff we picked up. That's fine, though. It's mainly the water. I'm going to step outside, do an old school in and out, or rather, out and in save real quick. And we'll wrap this one up here. In the next one, we'll continue to search Mountain Town, probably head out to the farm, I would imagine, or at the very least, get the rest of the town scavenged. Also, we'll probably take a moment to go ahead and use some of those materials that we have on the signal box of the hill. But we have a lot to search now that we're here. This is a big zone, lots of houses, lots of potential, rewards for coming here, which is why we prioritized it. And then after this, it's back to Forlorn Muskeg and into the newest zones in the game. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.